I'm an editor, yes. Today, I'm an editor. 1 hour ago, I was a pimp.
It's Kelvin vibes.
Baby girl, is your love in a final?
It's your boy Bidemi Popson, representing Gideon all day, family way. Let's go. I'm a creative. I like to make things happen, you know. I was looking at my guy Ebuka's interview and he made a point that creatives are similar or close to being godlike because the first thing that God did was to create. So if you're on earth and you're creative, you're doing a noble cause. I got into post-production in May of 2017. Right before that, I was into the service industry. I used to own a restaurant selling shawarma and barbecue. So my creative process starts with me begging them that I beg, make una no kill me. that's my creative process. It starts with understanding what is expected of you, especially with the fast industry that we're in. It's a lot of deadlines, a lot of moving very quick. So the first thing you do is to understand the deadlines that you have, and when you finish that, understand what the director wants to do, because there is a vision in every project. So before it reaches any editor's table like myself, there's already like a thought process, there's already an idea, there's already a dream that has been sold or a vision. So because the more understanding that you have of what the vision is, you're able to actually do a service, because as an editor, your job is to allow the project to consume you in such a way that you're able to connect with it and do what it wants you to do, not what you want it to do. I hope that makes sense. We're going to look at Ibi Mad video. We're going to talk about the introduction. We're going to talk about some of the effects that are there, but you did not know that are there. Let's talk about the opening sequence. So your first job as the editor is you're meant to set the tone. Let's use that word. How do you set the tone? We like to call them estabs. So establishing shots. So when you start the video, you have to have a very, very strong estab that draws you into the shot. The next thing you want to do is establish some subject. It doesn't necessarily have to be the key subject. It could be like stuff going on in the environment that kind of takes you deeper into establishing where we are. We like to call this a very wide shot, extreme wide, God bless you. With the extreme wide, then we play. So if you see as we have that, boom, the next shot you get to see is what? Establishing a subject, but not necessarily the key subject of the video, which would be like maybe the lead girl or like maybe the protagonist or the antagonist, depending on what your story is. Because it's more documentary style, you will realize that more shots are tailored towards showing you scenery and beauty and locales and like activities, as opposed to actually showing you the artist. So we keep going, boom. So this is 7 seconds. We don't see Eazi till 7 seconds, but by the time we get to Mr. Eazi, you already can feel the pace that, oh, it's some tropical P, we are in this location, things are going on. There's a community. Baby girl, in your love when I find her. You know, get you rival. So at this point, we are just trying to establish a connection. The impact of a connection is that it helps us to go into the level 2 of our story. We've set the tone for you. You kind of have an understanding of what to expect. It's a tropical energy. It's very lush. It's very like streets, but at the same time, it's very full of vibes. And I would say like this video looks like it's flowing, but trust me, like each of these shots were like scrutinized. Is it too short? Is it too long? Why is he here? Why don't we move it there? Why don't we put Eazi before the girl? No, let's put the girl before Eazi, because we are now, the people can see that, oh, that's what Eazi is looking at. Trust me, we went through different variations of how to play this out. But once it started to feel right, you know, and then you just follow that feeling and let it take you to higher heights. Okay, so we're gonna keep going. In this part, I remember Ademola was like, nah, bro, it needs to enter in a certain way. It needs to enter in a certain way. And for me, it was like, how do you do that? So the solution was to re-establish. So like a lot of times when you're stuck, just go back to what you know. You know, we're trying to move on to a new scene. How do I establish the scene? Oh, okay, I know what to do. Even if it's a new scene in the video and we could just play it out like that, I'm going to kind of categorize the video into like 2 different areas. So you can see like the way the video starts. When we get into a new scene, we follow the same principle of a stabs, one maybe a super wide or like a close up, and then you go to subject. So you can call it a formula. A stab, go in, subject. I hope you've had a good time. Once again, I go by the name Bidemi Popson. And it's been great. What's poppin'?